Quit my job? This is insane. Here's how I got here. I gave AI complete control of my life for 7 days. Every decision was made by AI. I thought it would be fun. I was so wrong. For 1 week, AI will decide everything. My wake-up time, my meals, my outfits. I must follow every instruction. Day 1 and I'm already regretting this. Business up top, disaster below. AI 5:15. AM wake up. Do 50 jumping jacks. Sing loudly. Protagonist. You've got to be kidding me. Day 2 was embarrassing, but nothing could prepare me for day 3. Day 3 began not with the gentle chirping of birds, but with the blaring, soul-shattering shriek of my alarm at precisely 3:33 a.m. 3:33? I squinted at my phone, my brain struggling to catch up. For a second, I thought my phone was broken. Maybe it was a glitch, a daylight savings error in the middle of the year. But no, there it was, a new instruction from my AI overlord. Meditate. For 2 hours, in the dark. My first thought wasn't about finding my inner peace. It was that the AI had officially lost its digital mind. 2 hours? I don't think I've done anything for 2 hours straight besides sleeping or binge-watching a show, and definitely not at 3:33 in the morning. Is this what enlightenment looks like? It feels suspiciously like sleep deprivation. I stumbled out of bed, stubbing my toe on a dresser, a fantastic grounding start to my spiritual journey, and found a spot on the floor. I sat down, closed my eyes, and tried to, meditate. For the first 10 minutes, my mind was a whirlwind of thoughts, mostly centered around how ridiculous this was. Then, for the next hour and 50 minutes, it was a heroic battle against falling asleep. I'm pretty sure I lost that battle several times. I'd nod off, my head would jerk back, and I'd have a mini panic attack thinking I'd missed the end of my 2-hour sentence. It was less transcendental and more torturous. When the 2 hours were finally up, I felt nothing. No cosmic wisdom, no newfound clarity. Just a sore back and an overwhelming desire for a coffee and a 5-pound burrito. But of course, that wasn't on the AI's menu. The AI's culinary directive for the day was, and I quote, nourishment from the earth, unprocessed. This translated to a horrifyingly vibrant green juice for breakfast. We're talking kale, spinach, celery, and a sprig of parsley for flavor. It didn't taste like health. It tasted like I had licked a lawnmower. Every sip was a battle of will. For lunch, a beautiful, colorful pile of raw vegetables. Just a plate of sad, lonely carrot sticks and broccoli florets. No dip, no hummus, no ranch, just raw, crunchy, joyless rabbit food. My stomach was staging a full-scale rebellion. I was hungry, I was grumpy, and I was starting to seriously question the 100% commitment I'd made. But the afternoon is when things went from merely difficult to certifiably insane. First, the outfit. The AI, in its infinite wisdom, decided I needed to express my inner chaos. The result was this: plaid shorts that clash with a floral shirt, topped with a neon beanie that screams, "I've given up on life," and the pièce de résistance, socks with sandals. I looked like a walking, talking, lost and found bin. I stared at myself in the mirror, and I didn't see a man on a journey of self-improvement. I saw a fashion victim, but I figured, okay, I just have to wear this. I can handle being a public spectacle for a few hours. Then, the next instruction hit my phone. My blood ran cold. Give a public speech about AI in this outfit. My heart started pounding in my ears. This wasn't just pushing my comfort zone. This was launching it into a different galaxy. Public speaking is my number 1 fear. Number 2 is sharks. And number 3 is public speaking to sharks. This was worse. I paced my apartment for what felt like an hour. My mind was racing. I could just quit. I could throw my phone against the wall, delete the app, and go back to my normal, comfortable, non-humiliating life. but a deal is a deal. I committed to this for 7 days, and I wasn't going to back down now, no matter how much my sanity begged me to. So, with a deep sense of impending doom, I walked to the park. Every step felt like I was walking the plank. People were staring. Of course they were staring. I looked like a glitch in the Matrix. I found a bench in a relatively busy area, and for a solid 10 minutes, I just stood there, paralyzed by fear. My palms were sweaty, my throat was dry. I was trying to remember any of the bullet points about AI I had frantically tried to memorize. All I could think about was everyone laughing at me. Finally, I took a deep breath, squeezed my eyes shut, and stepped onto the bench. Here goes nothing. Excuse me, everyone. Can I have your attention for a moment? My voice cracked. A few people glanced over, mostly with expressions of pity or confusion. I'm here today because an artificial intelligence is making me do this right now. A few murmurs rippled through the small crowd that was beginning to form. A guy with a hot dog stopped mid-chew. This was it, the point of no return. I decided to just lean into the absurdity. That's right, I said, my voice getting a little stronger. This AI has taken over my life for a week. It can choose your breakfast, it can wake you up at weird times in the morning, and as you can clearly see, it can make you wear absolutely ridiculous outfits. I gestured to my floral shirt and plaid shorts, and a wave of laughter went through the crowd. It was like a weight lifted off my chest. They weren't laughing me, they were laughing me. I talked about how AI can optimize our lives, but also how it can lead to moments of pure, unscripted madness like this. I was rambling, I was sweating, but I was also kind of having fun. I wrapped it up with a final grand statement. So embrace AI, let it into your lives, or it might just make you do this. Thank you. I took a clumsy bow, and to my absolute shock, people clapped. It wasn't a standing ovation, but it was more than I ever expected. As I stepped down from the bench, my legs were still shaking, but the fear was gone. It was replaced by a bizarre cocktail of emotions: deep embarrassment, profound relief, and a tiny flickering spark of pride. I can't believe I did that. I actually did it. The AI pushed me so far out of my comfort zone that I couldn't even see it anymore. It was terrifying, it was humiliating, but it was also strangely liberating. I walked home with a new spring in my step, even in my socks and sandals. Day 3 was the insane day, the day I thought I would break. But I didn't, and it made me wonder what else I was capable of. If you think day 3 was crazy, just wait until you see what the AI had in store for day 5. 7 a.m. wake up. That's almost normal. AI just Marie Kondo'd my calendar. Wait, this is actually good? This is so dumb.
Never stop.
We've reached the final stretch. Days 6 and 7. Honestly, I woke up on day 6 expecting to be a completely broken man. Just a shell of my former self, counting down the seconds until I could reclaim my free will, and part of me was. But something else was happening. The constant chaotic stream of AI commands had, weirdly, started to feel normal. My brain had been rewired. Instead of dreading the next notification, I felt a strange sense of anticipation. What fresh madness would my digital overlord cook up for me today? The AI's final tasks were a perfect summary of the entire week. On one hand, it had me spend an hour learning how to properly fold a fitted sheet, which, I'll admit, is a life skill I never knew I needed. My linen closet has never looked better. That was a moment of pure, unexpected clarity. A small, simple win that made my life objectively better. But on the other hand, it also instructed me to order a single pickle to my house via a food delivery app. Just one. The delivery fee was 4 times the cost of the pickle. The driver looked so confused. I had to explain that my AI boss demanded it. He just slowly backed away. Pure, unadulterated chaos. And that's the beautiful, terrifying paradox of this whole experiment. So I let AI run my life for a week. Was it insane? Absolutely. It was a roller coaster of productivity, public humiliation, and personal growth. But sometimes we need that chaos to find clarity. You get so caught up in your own routines and comfort zones that you forget to look up. Handing over control, even to a machine, forces you to break those patterns. It showed me that the most embarrassing moments often teach us the most valuable lessons. Like, I learned I can give a speech about squirrels with zero notice and not actually combust. I learned that my neighbors are more forgiving than I thought. And I learned that my own self-imposed limits were, for the most part, completely imaginary. The AI didn't just give me tasks, it gave me evidence that I was capable of more. The real question is, did any of this actually stick? Did it make a measurable difference? Let me show you the before and after. We're going to break down the hard data on my sleep, my productivity, and of course, my newly fortified embarrassment tolerance. The results are pretty shocking. So, after a week of digital dictatorship, we've reached the big question. Would I recommend letting AI run your life? Honestly, it's a complicated yes. On one hand, you have the pure, unadulterated chaos. The algorithm had me meditating in a pitch-black closet, serenading my neighbors with off-key show tunes, and dressing like a time-traveling fashion disaster. There were moments I was convinced my AI overlord was just a mischievous digital gremlin with a vendetta against my dignity. It was embarrassing, it was weird, and frankly, it was exhausting trying to explain my life choices to my very confused roommate. But then there's the other side of the coin. The unexpected, almost accidental, personal growth. By forcing me out of my well-worn comfort zone, the AI shattered my boring routines. I was more productive. My diet genuinely improved, and I faced a public speaking fear that I'd been avoiding for years. It was like a boot camp for the soul, run by a drill sergeant who only speaks in code. It proved that sometimes the best way to find yourself is to get a little lost first, even if a robot is the one holding the map upside down. So, my final verdict? I'd say do it, but maybe start with a weekend. Only if you're ready for both the chaos and the breakthrough. If you enjoyed watching me navigate this digital roller coaster, do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button. It's free, and it ensures you won't miss the next grand experiment. And speaking of which, you get to decide what happens next. I'm putting it to a vote in the comments. Should I let AI plan my entire vacation, from destination to activities? Or do I hand over the reins to my dating life and let an algorithm play Cupid? Let me know which path to glorious disaster I should take. Choose wisely, and I'll see you in the next video.